CATV is proudly presented by Toyota.
Darren, the team's achieved a lot since the Winter Ashes series, but sitting through what happened there, did it take you back to what happened at Durham, and do you think you've learned anything since then?
It did take me back. Obviously, what did we lose? 9 for 67 or something like that?
10 for 90. 10 for 90. 10 for 90.
Yeah, I worked on 1 for 152. I thought we were in a bad spot then. It takes you back. The pleasing thing for me today is that we got bowled out, if that makes sense. They bowled very well and we didn't cope with it well enough. So we've got to improve that area. But they're a high-class bowling attack, full credit to them. In Durham, we played some poor shots to actually lose those wickets. So pleased in that regard, if that makes sense. The disappointing thing is our first innings runs. I think we harp on it most of the time, so we've got to get better in the first innings.
So when you said you were pleased to be bowled out, not that you thought that the draw... No, sorry.
I wasn't pleased to be bowled out, mate. In the manner we got bowled out. So where in Durham, for example, we played some poor shots. So at least we tried to address that in that situation, and they were too good for us today.
Did it concern you that they got the ball to reverse?
No, not at all. Considering we bowled on day one when the pitch was not as coarse, and day 3 when our bowlers were cooked because we only batted 2 sessions in our first innings. So I knew it'd go reverse day 4 and day 5. We didn't get to day 5, so yeah, it's not an issue for if reverse the time we bat first, we get the ball going reverse. That's not an issue. So that's just the way the game goes.
You've got 5 days. How do you come up with plans for staying with bowling that sort of unbelievable spells?
I thought 7 days ago you wouldn't have said that, so I think our plans are right. He bowled beautifully today. Conditions suited what he did, and they had the better of the conditions, and they deserved to get the result they got. So for us, it's no panic buttons. It's getting ready for Newlands, which is going to be a great test match.
So you don't put any extra work into him as opposed to...
No, first test match he didn't do much, so second test match he did. He's a great bowler. So we've done all our planning with him. We're ready to go.
Yeah, Darren, is that, I suppose, subcontinental rhythm almost to a game, where it's slow to start with, things happen more quickly as the game goes on? Is that something that Australian teams have found difficult over a few years, not just here? No,
I suppose results would show that, wouldn't they? End of the day, it's our first innings batting. We didn't bat long enough or well enough. That's as simple as it gets. We weren't patient enough with our batting. We should have, if we had that patience today, for example, I think we would have made 350, 400 in the first innings. And those deliveries wouldn't have got you out in the first innings because the ball wasn't reversing like that. So that's just one of the parts of the game, the great things about this game we play.
Is it a balanced thing as well, though, for a batting unit to recognise that? Yeah,
we talk about it, so that's okay. We need to talk about it because we need to keep learning how to play the game. And that's a simple fact of life. Keep improving.
First of a 2-part question. Do you expect Shane Watson to play in Cape Town?
As long as he's bowling overs and he's fit, we'd love to have that extra bowl, as I said, I think the other night. So, again, we'll have to wait and see how that comes along.
So, how's he? This is an intermittent question. How's he progressing?
Seems all right. You saw him today in the nets, and batting doesn't seem an issue. But bowling, he's bowling tomorrow, so hopefully he'll be able to bowl, and weather permitting, obviously. But yeah, he's bowled. He's bowled in the nets the other day, so yeah, hopefully he'll be able to bowl. Thanks for turning that light out, mate. No problem.
So the obvious lead-in, if he's fit to play, then who goes out? Because Rogers has just made 100. Doolan's had a difficult game. Marsh's had a difficult game. He's got 6 test ducks in his last 11 innings from matter of interest. So how do you fit Watson in?
Selector's conundrum, isn't it? We've got to work out what we do. Well, I'm not. John Inverity's here as chairman of selectors. So.
You might have the title.
Well, I'd like to... No, that's incorrect. He is the chairman of selectors. So we'll have to work that out. Again, it'll depend on the pitch, what we see at Newlands, but traditionally that's a good wicket, a result wicket, so that'll be pleasing. And it depends on what style of wicket they produce. They ask the captain and the coach what they produce, so we'll have to work out, once we get close to the toss, what happens.
So is an 89 on debut better or worse than 122 on a test recall?
120.
Yeah, oh, sorry, 148. Because Doolan made 89 on the Boo and Marsh made 148.
Oh, look, end of the day, if we have to fit Shane Watson in and someone misses out, it'll be really unlucky. But it depends on whether we need the fifth bowler or we don't. And that, again, we'll have to make that decision when we see the wicket. So, and he's got to be fully fit. So all those things come into it. Does that answer your question? Yeah? Best I can, yeah.
Just on Marsh, it's amazing Test cricket how quickly it turns, but as you touched on, great performance in Centurion, a pair here. He just needs to get off the mark. 6 out of 11 ducks.
Most batters would like to get off the mark, wouldn't they? Yeah, look, he got a couple of decent balls, and that can happen in the game of cricket, end of the day. So he batted very well in Centurion and, got 2 good balls here. That's part and parcel of the game.
Just another selection question, 'cause I know you enjoyed them. The bowlers that seem to have done the damage in this series are guys who are sort of 140 Ks or above. You've got a couple of guys who are probably mid to 130s. Do you look at bringing in maybe a Pattinson as a fresh bowler just because of that fact?
Oh, we'll have a look at it. Velocity is a big thing for us. I think that's the world game. So certainly you need pace. We've seen that with Johnson. Harris and Siddle, when he's up and running, he's bowling 135 plus. So we'll have to look at that over the next few days and see how they pull up.
How happy or unhappy are you with how the DRS worked in this game?
I'm actually not too worried about it, mate. I'm worried about Newlands and getting the best result we can as a cricket team. So DRS, it's there. Hopefully it is making the decisions better, and only time will tell that. So I'm not really going to go there, mate, because at the end of the day we got absolutely flogged. So we've got to be better.
Just on Rambo's question, I think the pacemen, they've done the 7 in a row, tests in a row, same pace attack. They've bowled about 130 overs between them. If you look at possible reinforcements, do you sort of say, all right, you want a like for like, maybe Bird for Siddle and then Pattinson for whatever, or is it just the quickest bloke comes in?
No, it'll be, again, conditions. What we think is going to get us 20 wickets. We've got to remember we've got to get 20 wickets this test match. So we've got to make sure we've got the side that's going to do that, and that's important. Because if you don't get 20, you can't win the test match. And I hate draws. We don't seem to play draws anyway, so that's all right.